What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the CoolFigurez channel. If you're new, then welcome. This channel is all about cool action figures, analyzing them, hunting them, taking pics of them, and of course, playing with them. I try to upload new videos every Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, so check back on those days to see what I've uploaded, or just hit that bell icon to be notified when I do upload new content, because throughout 2021 is my goal to give you guys new content throughout the week besides on those days. So make sure to hit that bell icon so you stay up to date. But if by the end of this video you do find yourself enjoying it, please remember to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It is a very small goal of mine to try to reach at least one new subscriber per video that I put out. So please be my one new subscriber for this video. Thank you so much in advance. But as always, the information on this channel is intended for adult collectors and not children. I am your host, Jesse the Batman, aka the Buff Collector. And today I have for you guys the McFarlane DC Multiverse Gold Label Batman. Man, I have a lot to say about this figure, guys. He was interesting to hunt down. Thankfully, I live near a Walmart Supercenter, and so online it was saying that they had 5 in stock. I went, I believe, Sunday night. I couldn't find anything. All the toy shelves were empty. Star Wars, Multiverse. They had a bunch of World of Halo figures, so I'll give them that. But everything else they were just out of. And so I was really disappointed, and the next day I woke up, I did my thing, went to the gym, got back home, and I looked online and it said they had 2 left now. So I said, okay, if it updated from 5 to 2, they have to have them in store. And it was, you couldn't purchase them online, you couldn't pre-order them online, you had to buy them in store. So I said, you know what, I think I'm gonna go right now. I'm gonna take a chance and see if I can find them. So I took a trip, because this Walmart is about, I think, 2 cities down, about 2 or 3 cities down from where I live. So I took a trip down there, and I actually just went up to customer service, and I was like, you know what, I know you guys have something in stock. It says online, can you guys help me find it? And they were like, well, sometimes it doesn't update quickly, so we might not have it. I was like, okay, well, can I just show you what I'm looking for? Maybe you guys have it. They're like, yeah. The second I showed them the picture of the figure, the employee knew. When an employee knows about what toy you're talking about, that's how you know it's sought after and people are going for it. She was like, oh, that one. And I was like, yeah, that one. And she was like, well, we actually just sold 1 or 2, I think she said. So let's see if they have any more. So she got someone for me to take me to the toy section and help me look. And yeah, he took me to the toy section and he's like, yeah, it should be right here. And there was still barren and empty. And I was like, oh, all right, I guess I just missed it. And I just happened to, my toy hunter skills kicked in, and I honestly just was like, check all the spots. And the first spot I thought of looking was like, look up. And I look up, and there's 3 boxes up there that weren't there last night. I pull one of them down. It's a Black Label Batman. So I was like, yes. And then the employee looks at the price tag. I believe he looked at the price tag for an older Batman figure, but it just said Batman on it. And he's like, well, if you take these 3 figures now, I'll honor the $15.88 price because it's the last 3, so I have to take the price tag anyways. So I was like, yeah, I'll take them. So I actually ended up getting 3 of these guys, and it actually became a good thing, and I'll explain why when I'm going more in depth into this figure. But yeah, that's the gist of how I got this figure. Honestly, it's a really great figure, but for some reason, I think I just got a defective one, and like I said, I'll go into that more when I go more into the analysis. But first, let's go ahead and take a look at the accessories that this guy comes with. So, as with all the DC Multiverse figures, he comes with a stand, so that you can stand him on there. He stands pretty, well. As well as a trading card. And at first, I was like, really, a trading card? I'm honestly starting to really dig them. I kind of like it, I was honestly never a trading card guy. I never collected trading cards. I really liked action figures and all that. But I kind of like it. And I did collect football cards at a time because that's what everybody was doing in my school. And I fell into that fad, but I had a big binder of them. And I had some empty slots, so now I'm putting these cards in there. So that's really cool. Here's the back if you want to. I'll give you a chance to screenshot that so you can read it. But then he also comes with 2 of these blades. They're identical. They're gold. All the Gold Label figures come with something gold, and his is, his daggers, as well as these wonky looking goggles. And at first, when I first saw these goggles, I was like, really? Like, but I'll be honest, they've grown on me. They've honestly grown on me. And I'll tell you what, my first impressions of this figure when it first was shown off and announced, I was like, a hard pass. I was like, never in a million years am I gonna buy this figure. It's a very big hard pass. Not even gonna think about it. Then the release date approached, and I saw more pics of it. I saw early reviews from other, big name toy reviewers, and I was like, you know what? I need this figure. It was kind of like that SpongeBob episode, if you guys have seen it, where he goes into Sandy's dome when he first meets her, and he doesn't realize that there's no water in there. And he's like, I don't need that water in the vase. He's just like, I don't need it. And then it just goes to that point where he's just like, I need it. That was basically me with this figure. But yeah, so that's all the accessories he comes with. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at the figure himself. Let's see him down right here. So there's a good look at the head sculpt right there. I honestly really like it. It looks like a battered and beaten old, Bruce Wayne's under there. Like he's seen some really good shit, and he's been through some stuff. The spikes on the gauntlets and the fist is a nice touch. It's kind of reminiscent of the Dark Knight metal, which they are kind of going through right now. So maybe that's kind of what inspired Todd to put that on there. And these things are sharp, guys. I mean, I'll be honest, I already took pics of him because I was taking pics of other figures. I got my dog hair all over him. Other figures, and so I figured I should just take his pics while I was at it. And while I was messing around with him, moving his arms around, and honestly, these things kept poking and poking. So yeah, if you get this guy, be careful. His gauntlet spikes are sharp. But yeah, other than that, guys, he is really nicely done. I mean, look at all the cool stuff he has on his belt and on his thigh right here. Here's a look at the back. It's kind of reminiscent right here, if you can see, of the Flashpoint Batman, because he has those, those shoulder pad type things. Here's a look under the cape. So yeah, he's a really, in my opinion, really nicely done. The reason he was a hard pass for me was because he's not Batman, like he's Todd McFarlane's iteration, and honestly, I'm a die-hard classic Batman fan. Like, I like the classic Batman. Like, for me, it has to be Bruce Wayne Batman, except for Terry McGinnis. And that's only because they did it right. They didn't have Bruce die or go into hiding or all this other stuff. He just got too old and he handed off the mantle. So that's why I accept Terry McGinnis as a, someone that takes over the Batman role. But also, he's known as Batman Beyond, and not just Batman. That's my issue when people try to take these characters and go, oh, well, I'm Spider-Man. Well, Spider-Man's dead, but you can be Spider-Boy, Miles Morales. I don't know. When you take the original character, you try changing it, it's like, just make up a new character, even if it has similar, powers or whatnot. For me, Batman is always going to be Bruce Wayne, and you can never change that in my mind. And Batman's always just going to be Batman, dark and brooding. Obviously, you have the 1960s iteration and all that, but as of now, it's Bruce Wayne, dark and brooding. But I'm going off on a tangent because, as you can probably tell from my name, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, I am a huge Batman fan, although that is not why I have that there. It is a part of it, though. But anyways, guys, I digress. This is a really cool Batman, in my opinion, and the reason it was a hard pass was because it wasn't the classic Batman. But as I started thinking about it, I was like, do I really want another regular Batman figure? Or would I rather have one that falls over while I'm talking? Or would I rather have one that's a little more unique and that would stand out against my other Batman figures? And that's what really, made me want it. And also just the detail in this figure. Obviously, it's Todd's, own Batman, so he probably put a lot more love into it than the other Batman figures. Especially in the creation of the actual product, which I will go into right now, which is, as I always say, this wouldn't be a CoolFigurez review on a McFarlane DC figures if there wasn't a complaint about the plastic. But there's no complaint about the plastic on this one, guys. This one actually feels solid. He actually feels like a solid action figure. in my opinion, I think now they're getting a little more quality plastic because they see the lines taking off. And before they were kind of hesitant to put the money into the plastic, not knowing if the figures would sell. And now that they're flying off the shelves, they're like, okay, well, we can make them with a little more quality because we know we're not going to lose money. Because this one and another figure that I'm going to be reviewing that actually was a hard pass. I was actually going to return it. That review will be coming out most likely next week. These two figures are the first two DC Multiverse figures that I can actually honestly say that they feel solid and they don't feel flimsy and weak in terms of the plastic that was used to create them. So let's go ahead and take a look at his articulation. So he can look all the way to the right, all the way to the left. He can look down that much. He can look up that much. Looking at his arm articulation. So this is, okay, now getting into the reason why I have a defective one. So, like I said, I bought 3 because they gave me that deal for $15.88, you know what I mean? So I couldn't pass that up, and I figured I'd keep one in the box and maybe sell one or give one away as a gift or something, I don't know. So I was looking at the 3, I was like, okay, which one am I going to open? This one had the best paint apps for the face and the belt and everything else, but I didn't look at the ears. And the ears, if you take a close look, let's see if he focuses. I don't know if you can see, but on the ears, it looks like the ears were bent, and that's like what the plastic looks like. You know, when you bend plastic and it gets like that white little line or look when you bend it. But also, what is this? His left arm doesn't go up or down. It just doesn't. His right arm goes all the way. Look at that. All the way. His left arm, I can't get it to go past that. So yeah, I think I just got a really bad one, and I opened it. I picked the worst one to open up. I should have known from the quality of the box. It wasn't in the best condition, and I figured, well, you know, that's the one I should open if anything. Also, you know, because the box was in the worst condition. But anyways, so if you get one of these that actually works, his arm will go up that much. He does come with double hinge elbows, which do help a lot for when you want to make him look like he's reaching back for that sword on his back, because you do get these 2 sheaths right there, which they just drop in right there. But they are loose fitting, so if you flip them upside down, and of course it doesn't want to fall out right now, but what I've noticed is they're pretty loose fitting and they do tend to fall out. His leg kicks out that much, kicks back that much. He does have the double hinge knee, and his ankle, his ankle can go down that much. It can go up that much. It's stopped by the boot armor. It has a ball rocker joint as well as the toe articulation right there, and he does have the ball hinge wrist, so he can move in all certain directions. That's my other only gripe on these multiverse figures, is those ball hinge joints. They're not my favorite because it just looks a little awkward. There's too awkward of a space right there in between the 2 parts. But all in all, overall, it is a great figure, and I'm going to start rating these figures. Well, honestly, I can't say that because they're all going to be 10 out of 10s, because why else, like I stated before, why else would I buy these figures if I don't think they're all 10 out of 10s, in my opinion at least. But I can honestly give my honest opinion and say I honestly really do like the sculpt of this Batman. And like I said, I have already photographed him, and he does photograph really well, and I can't wait to use him for other shoots. So let's go ahead, take a look at some pics of this guy, and we'll be right back. Alright guys, thanks so much for sticking to the end of this video. If you enjoyed those pics, you can find the full images over at CoolFigurez on Instagram. And if you enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button. It really helps the channel grow. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. But whether or not you're a subscriber, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to me talk about toys. I really do appreciate it. As always, I'm your host, Jesse the Bat Madrigal, aka the Buff Collector. And I will talk to you guys in the next video.